And this is just like chill. Like right now, I want to watch this video. We're going to watch a jiu-jitsu video. How to seam as an older grapple. How to seam faster as an older grapple without using speed in BJJ. This is perfect for me. Hell yeah, jiu-jitsu. Give me the lowdown, bro.
So today we got a question from Guillermo, who is a judo black belt and he's a jiu-jitsu purple belt, and he's a bit of an older guy. He's about 51 years old right now, and he's having a struggle with some of the younger cats in his gym, like many of you guys that are a bit older are having as well. So check it out. He's 51 years old.
For the younger cats, it's fine. All you gotta do is work out harder, take some performance-enhancing drugs, and kick their ass. That's it.
And he says that with his judo
41 is an older guy. Well, fuck.
Sweeps and his throws and everything else, he's able to get his takedowns on the younger guys, no problem, whatever. But then once it gets to the ground, he finds that the younger...
What would break the Twitch agreement? What were you guys talking about? Oh, yeah. And I am trying to hit partner on Twitch, but we have to get to 75 concurrent viewers, and that's going to be pretty hard, I think.
Moving faster than him.
But I think we can do it, you know, if I stay consistent.
And so his question to me is, he would
streaming
like to
both
be a
on
little
the
bit
same
more offensive,
at the same time, or it's technically
should he, though?
against
Should he just continue to focus on his defense, which is pretty good, and it can keep the younger guys at bay? Or should he try to make, in some way, shape, or form, a plan to be more offensive with his jiu-jitsu? And so he sends that message to me, that question to me. So, brother, thanks for the question. So let's talk about you being a little bit older and wanting to be a little bit more offensive against these younger, faster opponents that you have in the gym. So, and this kind of goes back to what the voice message that I sent you through social media. So thinking about the situation, there's probably a lot of factors going on. You've got younger, more youthful jiu-jitsu practitioners.
I do want to do what jiu-jitsu does here, though, too. And I do want to start having you guys, like, send me questions and then, like, doing, like, some of these videos on the Blind Run channel. I think I'll probably be asking for questions on, like, locals and Twitter and stuff like that.
Youth and speed and all these different things going on. But from the sound of it, it's interesting. So when you're taking them down, right, you're able to grapple with them on the feet just fine and take them down. This could be a situation where maybe they just don't have any stand-up training. That could be a possibility. But it could also be a symptom, especially when we're comparing it to your jiu-jitsu, of sort of a different methodology between grappling sports. So with wrestling, and I believe judo is very much in the same way from some of the friends that I have that are in judo. I'm sure it's not the same across the board, but from some of my friends that did judo, it was very much this way. But I'm going to speak from wrestling. In wrestling, when we got into wrestling, we knew that there were going to be a lot of techniques and that we had to like play around with them and dabble with them. But we also understood that we're not possibly going to remember them all. And we don't need to remember them all because it's not important. Right? We don't need to remember every single technique in wrestling. What we were trying to do is fill around and find something that we were good with and then make that our move, right? We could be really good with this small little sliver of wrestling. That's the way that we were taught, at least I was, and it served me pretty well. And when you look at wrestling and you look at judo, a lot of times you'll find that if you do like some searches and like highlight reels, things like that.
Yeah, I watch BJJ competitive and some MMA. I missed the last UFC fight though with Adesanya.
And it's the same thing with the judoka, right? You'll find that a particular judoka is sort of associated with a particular
I train a lot,
or whatever it might be.
I always focus on training more than
over and over again until it becomes like it's their move. Now, when you get over to jiu-jitsu, one of the things that I think hinders people, like in a big way early on, is that they feel like they're supposed to remember everything, right? That somehow they're supposed to remember all
I am affiliate already.
All these endless variations and different positions and everything else. And by the way, stuff is constantly being changed up and sort of innovated every single day, right?
Affiliate's really easy.
It's
like 3 concurrent viewers. I've been affiliate
it's okay.
Since the affiliate program launched.
A lot of times with jiu-jitsu practitioners, like the way that black belts might say to another black belt is about how cool that guy is or how good they are. Man, that black belt's forgotten more jiu-jitsu than I even know because we forget all kinds of stuff. It's normal.
We get a much bigger cut out of
I'm wondering,
subs
I'm curious, and again,
once
only
you're at
this question, but you
partner.
seemed like it was you were receptive to it when I sent you in the social media message, and so hopefully this could be useful to some of you other older guys who might be rolling with some younger people in your gym. When you get to the
DJ
ground, since you're able to
Academics.
take these young guys down, no problem. You do
Hip
your
hop
throw,
news
whatever,
guy.
you take them
Gotcha.
down. When you get to the ground, I would try to find that same methodology that you have on the feet, which is like you probably have a very small sliver of judo techniques that you depend on primarily, right? Those are your moves. You know how to set them up pretty well, and you can use them effectively. You want to take that same methodology down to your ground game. Especially when you're being offensive, you want to start to say, okay, what are my offensive weapons? Not like what are my like possibilities, because those are endless. But what are the things that I'm best with? What can I use? And again, for anybody that's a white belt that's new to this, you may not know yet, but Guillermo's a purple belt. He knows. He has some idea, right? You'll find this stuff over time if you're new.
Yeah.
But what are your weapons? And then you try to focus on those as much as possible. And what happens is let's say that you know your guard pass, you know your sweeps, and you know your submissions from whatever position you're trying to hit, and you're only focused on those. What ends up happening is you begin to seem faster than what you really are. Because let's say that you pass the person's guard and you get to side control, and you have a particular side control submission that you're looking for, that you're hunting for when you're rolling. Well, you're going to be making the transitions necessary to set that thing up as soon as you get to the position. So that's going to give you the appearance of being faster, opposed to getting to side control, holding position, and then saying, okay, what do I want to do in this position?
Right.
Because there's seemingly endless amounts of opportunities and possibilities there, and that's going to create hesitation.
Well, one of the things I've been doing in my training lately is that, and I'm not doing this. Like, I'm not taking my specific best move because I'm trying to like get better at different positions that I'm weak in. But I'm going to like, I have like a journal, and then I write down essentially what moves I'm going to just do for the weekend live rules, right? So this week, for example, I was like, okay, I'm going to do double leg takedowns. I'm not allowed to do anything else, right? So I only did double leg takedowns. And then I was like, if they sprawl on me, I'm only getting out via essentially sit out, right? And then we went from there. EJ, I'm just a blue belt. I hit a blue belt in a year though, which is cool. But I go every day, like 6 days a week. So like that was like what I started doing like recently, is that I do that, and then I'll be like, okay, if I end up in like full guard, I'm only going to try to do this one particular sweep or this one particular submission. So and then that variant of whatever that is, right? Or if I'm in side control, I'm only going to do this. And like that's helped like a ton, because what happens is like the whole week you just drill that one position, and then the next week you just drill that whole, like, and that's in live rules. So the only way, like, drilling is great, like the traditional, like you go in, right, a majority of the time, you go in, you do your warm-ups, you do the like in our gym, like we do the workout portion. So you do your stretching, then you do the warm-up workout, and then you learn a new move for the week. So I'm already kind of learning another move in the drilling, but I won't implement that into what I'm doing into live rules until like a week or two down the line or whatever, right? So what that allows me to do is already be prepared in my mind. It's the same thing that always worked for me in the gym too, right? Which is like go in to the gym already knowing exactly which workouts you're going to hit and exactly what weight you are at you're going to attempt at those workouts. And then very focused, you go in, you get that done, you're done, and then you kind of move on. It works really well because your brain is already, you're going to bed, you're like, okay, I'm going to double leg. And then if you are, what ends up happening too is like, obviously like a double leg's not going to work every time, but you start to find ways to make it work in an inconvenient position. So if you end up being in competition and you go for a double leg and it ends up kind of going wrong, you're like, oh, I've been here, I know what to do, right? Like, so for a lot of times, like if I go to like hit double leg and they sprawl on me, then I know like I'll go for the sit out. If the sit out doesn't work, I can kind of try to hip under or whatever, that sort of thing, right? Depending on how like crazy the sprawl is. If they completely dodge it, than it, like getting back up or snagging a single leg on the way back up, stuff like that, right? So it's similar to what he's saying, but what he's saying is to be faster, like you just already have the moves in your head from each position that you're going to. Now he's saying use your best moves. I'm saying to get better at jiu-jitsu. Now he's talking to a purple belt, so a little bit different, right? But to get better at jiu-jitsu, you just pick a move and then you just force yourself to only do it. But then your brain is already saying, okay, I'm in side control. From side control, I'm going to go Americano right away, right? Or from side control, I'm going to go straight to knee on belly. And like, that's it. Like I need to practice my knee on belly transition. Then you're already prepared. Your brain's already ready. So then you're faster and you appear faster to your opponent, which actually ends up working in your favor a lot too.
Going to slow you down because it's going to give you that sort of analysis paralysis situation. And again, as an older guy who's 51 years old, you don't want to sort of do anything that's going to slow you down because you don't have the speed to lose, right? You've got to make up a little bit. And so doing this will make you a little bit faster by basically focusing on only the stuff that you're going to try to use at that given point with your offensive weapons. It'll make you a bit faster and probably help you sort of cover some of that ground between you and the younger cats in your gym. So Guillermo, hopefully that helps you, brother. Good luck to your training. And any of you guys that are a little bit older, hopefully that idea maybe connects with you and hopefully it helps you with your training as well. So thanks for the question, brother.
Cool. All right. We're going to go back to it.